Hello again, everyone. Today I'm going to be trying to remake the tutorial I made a couple days ago. There's a method I had found for how to move music files from your PC to your Xbox, and the video I released probably wasn't the best video I could have released. There's a lot of stuff in there I could have left out. There's a lot of stuff in there I didn't put in there. There's a lot of stuff I shouldn't have put in there. And this is just a really this is a really weird method, and it can be really confusing, or just a lot of issues can come up. And I want to try to give the best explanation so there's no confusion, or you can just so when you're watching this video, you're not sitting there wondering what the fuck's going on. One thing I do want to mention is be very, very fragile with your hard drive whenever you are unplugging it, or sorry, whenever you have it plugged in and you are moving it around. When it is on, any sort of vibration, whether small or big, can do enough damage to the hard drive to make it so it's completely dead. I've already done that with my actual Xbox hard drive. That's why I had to go out of my way buy an Amazon one. Um, but yeah, just another thing I would also recommend is having a padded surface of some sort to do this all on. I also would recommend when you do have it plugged in, if you have it plugged into the back of your computer, don't let it just hang there. Make sure there's enough extension on your SATA cables that you can still lay it flat. That's your main goal, is to have it on a flat surface, just so it's not, just a little tap away from rocking itself into oblivion. One thing I do want to mention is that with the programs I'm showing in this video, you can easily ruin your hard drive. What I mean by that is to the point where your Xbox can't read it anymore. It's going to be still a hard drive at the end of the day, so you can use it for other purposes. But I would imagine that your main goal is to still have your Xbox read your hard drive by the end of this. So just make sure you steer away from anything that you really don't understand that's not showcased in this video, as these programs do have the control and ability to screw up your hard drive pretty good. And last but not least, make sure you have what you need to do this. After I did this so many times, I realized that, because when I first started doing this, I was just plugging it into the back of my computer. I realized that was probably the least efficient way to do it, since it's a pain in the ass. I'm going to unplug my hard drive since I didn't actually have any SATA cables free. And what I've easily found out is that a USB to SATA, or sorry, a SATA to USB without a power supply like this one right here will not work. FATXplorer will not allow it. I believe it's because there's not actually enough power with these ones to power one of these drives, since the older ones do require more power. I'm not sure how that works, but I just know that they require more power, and one of these will not do it. Your best bet is getting a USB to SATA adapter like this, or sorry, SATA to USB adapter like this. This one has a power supply attached to it, as you can see. There's a plug-in right here for it. Those ones will be the only, besides plugging into the back of your PC, that will be the only way you can actually power the hard drive properly so you can transfer files. You can still access your hard drive, I believe, with this one, but it won't let you. I was able to access it, and I tried dropping the music files in there like I normally do with this method, and it just didn't work. And it didn't work until I used this. So just make sure you have what you need and they're the right things. Another thing I do want to mention too is that there's third-party and first-party hard drives. That just means this one, the first party is made by Xbox, third party is made by someone in their basement or wherever the hell. I haven't had any issues so far using the third-party ones. They work the exact same. As long as they have the same functionality as the original Xbox hard drive, they should be fine. I keep saying original Xbox, I mean Xbox 360, of course. And so far has behaved as intended. It's even a little bit heavier than the old one, surprisingly. Usually you find third parties cheaper and lighter, but this is not the case this time. And also make sure that your Xbox actually has a removable hard drive, and of course know where that hard drive is. I will show that later in the video in case you don't, but yeah, once you have everything that you need, you will be good to go. Quick little demonstration here. Move your seal out of the way real quick, and then if you look at this right side of the Xbox, you'll notice this flap. Pick it, hook it, and there's your hard drive. Now you can see here that we're going to be plugging it in. Bam. We're going to put it down lightly. Also include a photo right here of what the cables do look like. Shout out to cgdirectors.com. If it wasn't for you guys, my wife probably would have took the kids by now. Okay, and now that our hard drive's connected to our computer, we're good to switch over to our desktop and start working there. Now you're going to want to go into my description and click the FATXplorer website link. Once you're here, you can click on the 3.0 beta, scroll down, and then get whatever version appeals to you, but most people are going to get the 64-bit version. Once you do that, you can scroll up, go to downloads, And also make sure you grab the 2.5 version. I'll explain why this is necessary later, but mainly for the toolkit. Once you're done that, hit the other link for the X360 Music Organizer. You're going to want this program too. Once you get here, you can just hit this download link right here, and it should download the file for you. And then once you download those, you can just install them, and we can go to the next step. Quickly, I do want to say is that you're going to have to run all these programs under administrative access. I know a lot of people, that's a no-no. So, I mean, if you don't want to do it, that's up to you. But in this video, we are going to be giving them administrative access. If you don't really know what that means, then it's just not really something you want to give to any program that's not trusted exactly. And I'm not saying that these guys aren't trusted, it's just that they're not Microsoft, they're not the most known company out there. And even Microsoft you can't trust, so. Okay, so now that you've installed those, we can go over to the shortcuts. First thing you're going to want to do for X360 Music Organizer is you're going to hit Properties, go to Compatibility, and then make sure you have run this program as administrator checked, and then select Apply. You can do that both for FATXplorer and FATXplorer 2, but I believe those just set it automatically. So now that we're done that, I can kind of explain why you want the 2.5 and the 3.0 version of FATXplorer. The first thing is because the FATXplorer 2.5 is the only one with the toolkit. I already said that, but they both do the same thing. It's just FATXplorer 3.0 is going to be the most updated version and is going to be continuing getting updates. I don't believe they're updating 2.5 anymore. I can quickly go and show you why you want 2.5 with the toolkit. So if you open it up and you go to Devices up at the top, you can hit Open with FATXplorer's Toolkit view. And once you've done that, if you go to where it says Create Backup, you're going to be able to make a backup of this device and all of like the important information you'd want if you ever accidentally did mess it up. One thing that's also nice is it does automatically back it up when you mount it with 2.5. I don't know why it doesn't make a backup with 3.0, but I haven't been able to find a backup for it when mounting it to 3.0. Another thing too is that it has security sector tools. I'm not going to open it up, but this will allow you to see information that is really vital to your hard drive. I would make sure that you keep this down somewhere. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it gets thrown in the backup, but I'd also take a photo of it just in case. And now that we've done that, we can close 2.5, and I'm going to do the rest of the tutorial in the 3.0 beta just because it's the one you're going to want to use the most. So now that we're here, we just want to go up here to Devices, and we want to click on our hard drive and make sure read only is off and load the content partition. The letter that you use doesn't really matter. That's just how it's going to show up in your Drive Explorer, or sorry, your File Explorer. Once you've done that, you can mount it, and it should pop up with this window. This information here, it's not a bad idea to copy and paste it into another folder somewhere else just as a backup, because this is like your save data and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure the 2.5 also backs everything up, including this stuff, but I'm not entirely sure, so if you're unsure as well, it's not a bad idea just to double layer it. But now that we have that mounted, we can close FATXplorer and we can start working in the 360 Music Organizer. Now that we're here, I can kind of start explaining how this interface works. So up here is where you're going to want to select all your music files. Also note that whatever directory your music files are in is also where it's going to want to output whatever you convert. I don't know why it won't let you convert separately, but for some reason you have to be using the same folder as both the files and the output. Up here you're able to change the bitrate. I just keep it at 192. And then you can also delete the converted WMAs. This is just because when you add like MP3 files, it has to first convert them into WMAs, and then it converts it into the necessary format for the hard drive. So now if you go down here, you can add the song genre, you can do artist name, album name. So why these are here is because whatever you put these as, it's actually going to show up in the Xbox with these. For some reason, if you add multiple music files, you can't individually add stuff for this. I don't know how it works, and for some reason, if you add, say like you add 10 songs, and then you go again another time and you add another 10 songs, I'm not sure how you merge the two folders, but I haven't found a way, and it just could, because of the file names you aren't able to change, it just overwrites everything. So if I do figure that out, I'll leave a little thing in the description for it. And then all these grayed out sections are stuff you can't change. They'll just show you information as it's extracting the files. And then right here you got use A to T, which is just use artist and title of song, a song title. I think it's artist. Don't believe it's album, but I think it's artist. And then there's auto upload files to X360. I don't know how this works. It has to do with the FTP uploader up here. And I don't know how to connect my Xbox IP address. I've tried doing this, but it just doesn't work for me. And then just to show you as well, we also got FMIM music converter. This is just if you already have like music that you've burned CDs onto your Xbox, you can take those files from your Xbox and convert it into a readable format for Windows. I obviously won't be showing that in this video, but it is an option you have with this tool. And now that I've kind of explained the interface, I want to start explaining how to set up your music files so they actually work and your Xbox can read them. I'll explain what that means in a second. So every single time you go to add a music file to X360 Music Organizer, you're going to have to mess with the property settings in it. So if you just go to the file, you right click on it, hit properties, and go over to details, it'll show you this list of information. What you need to have filled out is the title, the album artist, the album contributing artists. I believe you have to have something there, but I'm not sure about that one. You gotta make sure the year is there, the number, the genre, and then the length of that automatically inputs it there. This isn't one I added to my Xbox, so it has some of it blank, but just make sure you have those filled. For some reason, if you don't have them filled, your Xbox just won't recognize it with a method. I do not know why. I've tested this a bunch. I've added folders, or I've added files with and without these properties together, and it's always the ones without these properties that are not playable. So just make sure you do this. This is a very vital step in all of this. So now that you have all that complete, now we can go back into the X360 Music Organizer. I'm just gonna show 3 files. I'm not actually gonna put these in my hard drive because I don't want to overwrite what I already have made. But once you have them added, you can just go to music file, select on whatever one you want. You can just fill this out. I'll just throw what I usually throw in there just so there's something filled out for this while I convert it. And you can click on create custom Mindex files. As you can see there, it's showing some of the information. And now that that's done, we can close this and go look at that window. So as you can see, it's created a file called Mindex. If you open up your directory where your hard drive is, you can see that has the same name as this Mindex file. What I like to do is I like to just delete this file and then have the window side by side, grab it, move it over, or just copy and paste it, whatever way you want. And that's all it should take to have these moved over onto your hard drive. Once you've done that and you've copied them over, you can close both the directories and you can open up FATXplorer again. Make sure that the File Explorer are closed because when you do unmount, it'll come up with errors. It might still, but you can just click on it and then press unmount. And once you do that, your hard drive is now safe to remove from your computer. I also do want to add that I will be leaving a pinned comment down below of troubleshooting because this is usually the part where you start realizing if things aren't working or not. But now we can go and close this and we can hop onto our Xbox. All right, now that we're on our Xbox, we can test to see if any of this actually worked. So what you want to do is you want to hit the home button, go to media, go to where it says system music player. And if you go to your hard drive, you select albums, it should show you, should show you the music. You should be able to play it. You'll be able to tell if it doesn't work because it'll be rather grayed out, or if you click on it, it just won't work. I'll show a song that's probably not gonna give me DMCA. God bless you, Miles. So if you instead go back and you actually click on the album, it'll give you more information. You'll be able to. I tried messing around and adding this in a way where it would sort automatically, say if you want to have separate playlists for something on a game, but unfortunately these settings are the ones that you set in the X360 Music Organizer, and like I said earlier, you can't set these individually when you're converting all these files. They get set like this as a group, so I don't know how to go around that, If I figure anything out, I'll make a separate video on how to do that. But for now, they will just show up like this. If you select on a certain song and you can go to the song info. You can go here, so like if you actually go to artist and genre, it will be sorted properly. But then again, you have to do that every single time you re-add songs because it'll go and overwrite the everything else. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you liked this video. I spent a lot of time on it. Please leave feedback in the comments and share this video with your grandma. Goodbye.